Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, and Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, the true name of the Heavenly Father and His Son. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone out of New York who rule well, who taught us the truth. Salutations to the hopeful elect, the Akim out there pushing the truth throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and freedom to do so in the name of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, sincerity and truth. All right. And I also want to say shalom to the few sisters that do listen to us as well. This the brother Yarmaya from the Great Millstone Chicago camp. Basically just going into some random thoughts, some stuff, some things I had on my mind, basically concerning our trials, tribulations, our salvation, basically, and just a message of encouragement and motivation because we go through these things, but it's a bright light at the end of the tunnel. I don't want to sound too cliche, but I mean, it is what it is. We not, going through these things because, in these adversities, because we're not getting sharp. No, we being sharpened. We being tried. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick. I wasn't even gonna start off with this, but because I said it, why not? It's only right. It says, this is Sirach, an Apocryphal. This is Sirach 2 and verse 1. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art brought in the lowest state. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the day of adversity." In Salakia. For Sirach 2 and 5, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him." So it said, order thy way aright and trust in him. Acceptable men are proved, man. In the fire, in the furnace of adversity, man. These adversities that the Most High brings upon us, man, whether it's your living situation, your woman situation, your financial situation, all right, no matter what situation you may be in, you can't fold. You know what I'm saying, for lack of better words. I'm gonna get the scripture, and it tells you in the book of Proverbs. This is Proverbs 24 and 10. It says, "If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small." And we don't faint in the day of adversity. We wait patiently on Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, man. When you come into this truth and living out this truth, it's a focus or fold method, man. It's only one way you're gonna go. You either gonna focus or fold. That's why it says, going back to the adversity, Sirach 2 and 5, it said, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity." And we just read it in Proverbs, "Thy strength is small if thou faint in the day of adversity." All right. So we can't lose patience. Matter of fact, Sirach 2 and 15, it says, "Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do in the end when the Lord shall visit you?" Because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, if you lose faith in him because of some BS that might happen in your life, or you thought it was BS, first and foremost, we deserve everything we get and even worse, and we still like a little spoil on the side, for the time being, because we still have a lot of leisure. But the trials and tribulations that we do go for, man, we count the cost, man. All right, we count those costs. Matter of fact, since I said that, all right, I'm quoting that out the scriptures. I think it's in the Gospels where they said, no man count, goes to war and doesn't count the cost, man. But that's I was just mentioning that. That's not the scripture I want. The scripture I want is Luke. It's in the 9th chapter. Yeah, Luke 9 and 62. "And Yahweh Shai said unto him, No man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom." So once we put our hand to the plow and we go hard in this truth, and we get to digging and you might hit a fucking rock or something, metaphorically speaking, to some trial that may come upon you in your life. And, you probably want to get tired and stop digging, but, now ain't the time, man. Our salvation is nearer than when we first believed, like it says in the book of Romans. All right, so this is just a message of encouragement. This is 1 Peter 1 and 5. It says, Salakia, 1 Peter 5 and 5. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject to one another, and be clothed with humility. For Yahweh resisteth the proud, but giveth grace to the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of Yahweh, that he may exalt you in due time. And that's how we get brought up. You know, he who humbles himself, like it says in the gospel, Yahweh Shai said, he who humbles himself shall be exalted. He who exalts himself shall be humble. Because we don't look for preeminence in this thing. You know, a lot of brothers, you know, when they do feel the fire, you know, they want to fold up. And that's because a lot of them got into it for things like preeminence or whatever wrong reason, or to get some self-gratification. And the truth is not about that. The truth is about ultimately receiving salvation, okay, and accepting whatever it takes to get that salvation. All right. This is 1 Peter 5 and 7. Casting all your care upon him, for he cared for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walking about, seeking whom he may devour. And Satan does, you know, like I think it was Yahweh Shai and Peter, when he said Satan desires to sift you. Satan does want to root you out the truth. Satan does want to get you out the camp. Satan does want to get your mind back into the weak elements of this world, man. That's his job. That's what he's sent to do. Just like as a man, a prophet of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, your job is to, hey, like it just said, submit yourselves to one another. Love Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai with all your heart. You know, your neighbor as you love yourself. And go out into the highways and the hedges, do the work. Be brotherly. You know how to have balance, how to have judgment. And accept the adversities that come along with this truth. All right. This is 1 Peter 1, and I'm gonna read 1 Peter 5 and 8 again. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil walk as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Whom resist, it says resist. That's why you gotta rebuke him in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. No other name. All right, pursuing the Acts 4 and 12. Verse 9 again. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. So we all going through the same shit, you know, maybe on a higher level, maybe on a different level, maybe in a different era. But we all, as the men of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, going through affliction. Sometimes your woman ain't right and your money right. Sometimes your money right and your woman ain't right. Sometimes this ain't right and that ain't right. Hey, and if all of it right, shit, examine yourself to see whether you're on the faith. In real life. All right. This is Philippians 4. Matter of fact, I'm going to go to 1 Peter 5 and 10. But Yahweh, but the power of all grace, who have called us into eternal glory by Mashiach Yahweh Shai, after ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you. To him be the glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. So that's the point, you know. After all this, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai strengthen you. This for Philippians 4 and 12. Matter of fact, this is 4 and 11. Not that I speak Philippians 4 and 11. Not that I speak in respect of man, for I have learned in whatever state I am therewith to be content. I know both how to abase, being low, all right? I both know how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed, both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Yahweh Shai, which strengthens me. So we get our strength from Yahweh Shai. All right. This is Acts 14 and 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples, exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. And through much tribulation, we slowly, you know, winning our ticket, you know, on that chariot ride, that IFO, that identified flying object ride, you know. And that's going to be a beautiful sight. And we really got to have faith that's going to happen, just like every other thing in the scriptures is going to happen. And some of it already has happened. Most of it already has happened. All right. This is Psalms 34:18. It says, Yahweh is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Yahweh delivered him out of them all. So he keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken. So the Lord keeps us, preserves us, and protect us. All right, even though he brings the trouble, and afflictions on us, basically like to prove us as a worthy men. All right, and we got to be willing to accept this. This is we have to set our mind on things above. A lot of time when we feel we being overly afflicted or overly pressed, it's because we worried about unnecessarily worldly ass shit, But this is St. Matthew, the word of Yahweh Shai himself. This is St. Matthew 10 and verse 34. It said, Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I am came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set man at variance against his father, and the mother against her daughter, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's foe shall be there of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. He that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. So we take our cross, we bear our shame, we bear our affliction, reproach, whatever come amongst us, man. We bear it for the sake, because Yahweh Shai died for us, and it came to save the elect of Israel on this side. This verse 38. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. And that's basically what we did when we came into this truth, picked up this plow. And like the apostles and the elders always bring out, it's hard as hell digging a hole. And yes, it's hard as hell digging a hole. All right. But basically we digging for that treasure, the kingdom of the Most High, man. And we bearing our afflictions and our infirmities and anything that come with it. All right. So with that being said, all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, the true name of the Heavenly Father and His Son. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone and to the hopeful elect. And hopefully I am one of those men, But to the hopeful elect, Shalom.